Hey, yo. What up, what up, what up, what up? My name is Brother Legend. Welcome to the live. What's going on? Back again with another episode. What up, what up? That's how I check my mic now. You know what I'm saying? Do a little applause at the front. What's going on? Welcome to the live. Come on in, come on in. We're going to have a good discussion tonight. I'm not here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time. You feel me? I don't know how many of y'all saw the last broadcast, but my wife will yank me up out this live if we don't watch our show tonight. So, that being the case, I got to make it quick. But we can talk about a few things. I'll be up here for like maybe 2 hours. Can white people be allies? Can white people inherently be racist? And do our cultures peacefully coexist? Welcome to the live. My name is Brother Legend. Peace to the people. Love to my family. Y'all know who y'all are, man. Please tap like if you like the taste of sweet potato pie. If you like sweet potato pie, please tap like. You know what I'm saying? If you've never had a scone in your life, tap like. If you have never had a scone in your life, please tap like. You know what I'm saying? Please tap like. Everybody that uses shea moisture at one point in their life or uses shea butter, you know what I'm saying? Cocoa butter, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's the processed kind, you know, the brown Jergens bottle, the brown one. Tap like, tap like. I need y'all to tap like. Let your people know you in here. If you've ever used Blue Magic hair grease in your life, please tap like. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all. If you have a washcloth near your bathtub currently, tap like, tap like. Yes, sir. You better be back. I'm going to get off when you get back, and then we got to watch the show. All right. All right, y'all. She leaving me here by myself. It's about to get lit. If y'all ever wonder what your man does when he's at home alone, y'all about to witness. Y'all are about to witness. Nothing. I ain't saying nothing crazy, baby. I love you. Go ahead, baby. I ain't talking crazy. What up, what up? Hey, man, we going to let people up here come talk with us. We're going to let people come up here and talk with us. Let's get to 2K likes. Oh, we at 2K. All right. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for the 2K likes. I used to buy natural shea butter from a couple about 20 years ago. It was the best. Amanda, shea butter is not for you. I don't know why you're doing that to your greasy ass skin. Your skin got enough grease. Don't y'all use alcohol products in your hair and your, you know what I'm saying, hand sanitizer? Y'all skin be moist enough. What y'all need shea butter for? Well, hey, do you? You know what I'm saying? Y'all need sunblock. Hey, do you? You know what I'm saying? You want to slip and slide around town? Hey, look, you can do whatever you want. I'm part indigenous. That ain't got nothing to do with it. What that got to do with it? What does that have to do with it? I have seen a few, but not many ashy white folks in my life. And definitely not the level of dryness that our skin gets. So y'all handshakes be kind of moist, in my opinion. Handshakes be kind of wet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why it's like that. Y'all skin just retains more water or something. I don't know why. But yeah, shout out to everybody that use cocoa butter on their skin. Keep tapping like. There's a reason I want y'all to tap like, because I'm trying to get the algorithm to the community. You feel me? Put hashtag free Congo down in the comments. If my skin gets dry, I break out. You break out if you stand in the sun too long. But I hear you. I hear you. That rash be looking crazy. Hey man, the sun got a solar system of supremacy. You know what I'm saying? What's going on in the Congo? Might want to do some Googling. Everybody, hashtag free Congo. Hashtag free DRC. Yes, sir. Hashtag free DRC. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Hashtag free Haiti. Canal a pop campe. That canal will not stop. What's good, Dior? Hey, man, nobody trying to come up here today? We don't want to answer no questions? Give me a yes/no response down in the comments. If y'all can't come up here, then answer down in the comments. I'll talk to y'all in the comments. Can white people really be allies? Are they allies to black people? Are they allies, honestly, to anyone? To be honest, I don't even know. Who are they allies to? And allies against what? Themselves? Their granddaddy? Are white people inherently racist? Are they inherently racist? Is it an essential or necessary part of being white to be racist? Are they inherently racist? Is whiteness inherently racist? And can black and white cultures peacefully coexist? Please don't come up here unless you got examples. Please don't come up here unless you got examples. Yes, please. Tell me your opinion. Tell me your opinion. I want y'all to come on up. Come on up and tell me your opinion. Uh-oh. We got somebody spelling the N-word. Nice and slow. Donovan, you're a weirdo. Weirdo of the day. Bye-bye. Hey, man, I'll be honest with y'all. White men are weirder than anyone else in the world, to be honest. You know, I got bones to pick with the frosted females too, but some of y'all men be the weirdest ones. I'm gonna be honest, weirder than everyone else. Looks like.
Hello.
What up? What up?
How's it going? I'll be honest. I do think white people can be allies, but I do think white people are inherently racist.
Okay, hold on now. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I am a 32-year-old black female, and it's she and her.
All
And
right, let's talk to
quite
us.
frankly, I know it's very, like, I would say, what is it? Disorienting for us to believe that white people can be, allies. However, there are those, like, I think it doesn't really matter your race, your religion, your distinction. If you're a good person, you're a good person. That's what it comes down to.
A
But
good
I think white
person.
people are inherently racist. I think that is something that is PTSD like in both races that keep us the way we are with each other. It's like post-traumatic slave syndrome and post-traumatic slave master syndrome.
Okay.
And that's just that. It really, if you get down to the nitty-gritty, that's what it is. It's a psychological disorder. But unless you actually look at it and see it, you can't help it. And a lot of white people don't want to feel that shame, that guilt that comes with knowing and understanding that they come from people that did atrocious things. And so instead of accept that and realize I'm not that person,
Yeah.
they would rather, get upset and defend their horrible ancestors and defend things that they see as blatant, disrespect, blatant racism, blatant,
Why would
murder,
they defend it?
because they don't want to accept the shame and the guilt. They'd rather lay blame at
You
something
think they
else.
have shame and guilt? You sounded like you read Dr. Joy DeGore's book. She said they don't have empathy.
They don't because it's been
So
bred
then
out of them.
what shame and guilt requires empathy, does it not?
It does.
Okay. So What do you, I'm confused. One moment you say they don't have empathy, but then you say they have shame and guilt.
I'm saying they don't want to feel that shame and guilt. It's not about the fact that whether they have empathy or not. It's about the fact that whether you accept it and you are okay with feeling that shame and guilt versus not wanting to accept that shame and guilt because you have the PTSD. It's been bred into them. Like, I think the biggest thing that you can look at is that picture of that little white girl looking at that black man hanging, and you see her smiling. That is called blind conditioning at its best. You have been bred to believe that this is okay. You've been bred to have the level of non-empathy that you talk about. And it went on for so many generations that at this point, like I said, it's inherent.
So at this point, they don't have shame and guilt, though, is what I'm trying to, because I'm
Well,
confused.
because you're
You're
saying as
saying
if there are none
both.
that don't have any shame and guilt when there are those that do have shame and guilt. So it's not as
I
if they're
don't think that's
inherently
true.
non empathetic.
I don't think it's shame and guilt is the reason that they defend white supremacy
Okay, so why do you think they defend it?
because they benefit from it.
I think that's a universal concept.
They're
I don't think
comfortable
that
in it
that's just.
because
I don't think
it
because
grants them comfort.
true.
And also, do you know about the crest theory?
Which one?
The crest theory, where she talks about white tea genetic survival and the root cause of racism, the fear of a world that doesn't look like them.
Yeah, I can understand that, and I
Yeah.
see that.
So it's not about shame and guilt as much as they all have inherent, not innate, but an inherent fear of a world that doesn't look like them, and they defend racism because that's something that they all can agree is going to work in their best interest. You know.
I can believe that. I just can't say that that's all white people.
I think that's real.
Subconsciously, every white person actively knows there is something working for them within this world. Subconsciously, every white person knows that this world that is built today is for them. It is a subconscious thing. Therefore, they will subconsciously fight for what is for them. Just like you would subconsciously and consciously, depending, fight for what's yours and your own. That is what they are doing. It doesn't even need for them to be conscious of it. It is the fact that it is a subconscious knowledge that this world has been made for them, that has been passed down through generations. So, peace, world, and light. I'm here. I am doing the Black Power fist right now, even though y'all can't see me because I'm like also cleaning. But I just wanted to like focus that up.
Well, I have
All
a
right.
question. You say that even if it's subconscious and not conscious, wouldn't that be more so, like I said, psychological than it is actually, like you said, inherent? Then at that point, then that means that, like I said, they've been bred to be that way, and it's not necessarily.
Inherent doesn't mean to the individual.
It doesn't.
Inherent means to the social construct of race. The category of whiteness is racist. The everyone that exists in that category, as long as the social construct of race is perpetuated worldwide, white supremacy domination, as Dr. Francis Cress Welsing would call it, as long as that system is in place, whether they have the heart of an angel or not doesn't really matter, because they still wield a privilege that would make them racist.
So is that the same for black people then?
What do you
I think
mean?
I think
Okay. Well, no,
honestly,
because okay, wait. Let me explain what I
that's a
mean.
weird way to take the conversation. If you want to take it there, we can,
I'm
sister. But
asking the question. I'm
you,
asking the
you,
question.
you.
So I'm
All
saying
right.
you're saying that for like how we've been bred to believe and think the way we do, okay, about everything. The question that I'm asking, you're saying that it's whether they intentionally do it or not, it is just who they are. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that, right?
So I'm gonna correct that with the definition of inherently. Do you mind if I
Please,
take this one, brother?
please, yes.
Thank you. So, hi. Before I give that definition, I would like to give who I am and my background and why I feel like I am qualified for this. Hi, I'm Harleen Quinzel, the one, the only, and the true, beautiful Black Harleen Quinzel. I I am 25 years old next month, 24 right now. I just say 25 because I mean it's so damn close. And I am she, her, they, them because I am gender fluid, non-binary. But you can use most pronouns because you cannot misgender a bad bitch, and that is what I am. The bad bitch.
Yes.
And that's on
So I
Okay.
use she, her pronouns mostly, but what I will say now is my qualifications. Hi, I study linguistics, applied linguistics. I also focus on African American Vernacular English, aka Ebonics, aka African American English, because it is not a vernacular technically, which paints it as slang. I focus I also focus on translation between white English and African and AAVE, aka Ebonics. So, with that being said, the definition of inherently is permanent, innate, or characteristic manner in which if you're talking about a system, it is permanent. If you're talking about a person, it is an innate character or it is innate or a characteristic. Wherein innate means being of the mind, which means that it can be changed because you can change someone's mind. I hope that helps.
No, and that makes sense, which is why I say that I think white people can be allies, because there are those that can be taught and understand and actually, like I said, feel that shame and guilt and realize that
And they can't dismantle the system. For example, the system
the
in
system
place,
can
right?
still exist.
No,
The
no,
system,
no,
the
no,
system
no,
will
no.
always
But
exist.
inherently, they're going to still be racist. All right. So here's the thing, right? The system in place is that we both need to agree to be friends, right? That's the social construct. Is that me and you both need to agree in order for me to be friends. You have to say you're my friend, and I have to say, I'm sorry. You have to say I'm your friend, and I have to say you're my friend in order for us to truly be friends. If I say I'm not your friend, you can say I'm your friend, I'm your friend, I'm your friend all you want, and I say no, you're not. Then we're not friends because the inherently the construct requires that me and you both agree to be friends. That's sort of how racism operates. Whether the individual decides they don't want to take part in the program, they want to deviate from the system. As long as the system is still in place, they still have privilege, and that privilege is going to make them racist. Children at the age of 3 to 5 understand that when a black doll and a white doll are in front of them, that the black doll is the one they use to say is ugly, criminal, mischievous, little, all negative words they put on a black doll. When they look at the white doll, they think of purity, they think of innocence, they think this doll is pretty. That is something that is because of the system that's around those children. No one sits children down in a classroom and teaches them black is bad, white is good, but the system around us does inherently have those connotations that make the child believe that as they grow older.
You don't even
Yeah.
have to go that far, brother legend, because reality is when a child is born, once they reach a set amount of months, they're not even a full year old. Once they reach a set amount of months, they notice race and they start to prefer one race over another. By the time they reach 4, they have that preference has been strengthened, and by the time they reach 5, they already start to have those racist thoughts and beliefs as well. So it's not even that. It's not even fit. They're not even in school yet.
Yeah.
You at school
We're
and
getting a
shit.
lot of
I'm not even at school and
mayonnaise down in the
struggling.
comments. I'm not sure what's going on. The numbers been dropping, and we're getting mayonnaise in the comments. People are.
No, I see what you
I'm
guys are
hoping my
saying, because
moderator is in here. We're getting a lot of.
I taught a pre-K
Yeah.
class where this actually happened, but I see what you mean. But there's also
I
little
noticed
white girls
that,
that
brother.
love little black dolls because they think
All
they're the
right, all
best.
right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. We're gonna
So
go. We're gonna go with what you said. What percentage of white people are good ones?
I'd say probably like 5%.
5%. All right, so there's 200 million white people in the United States.
I never said it was a
Hold on. No. You said 5%. So 200 million, that means per 100 million, there would be 1 million. So you're telling me 5%, you're saying, wait, so there's 5 million per 100 million. So there's 10 million, the size of a country in Europe. You're saying that there's that many of them in the United States right now, and they have not formed one movement. They haven't started one thing to dismantle their privilege.
We allow them
They
to
have not.
without us taking the say that they're stealing something from us out of curiosity. If they tried to, would they be like, "Oh, you guys are just"?
So now you're telling us that black people are stopping good white people from being white. Like, what are you trying to get at right now?
I'm not saying we stop them. I'm saying, would that be a thing?
No,
why wouldn't it? We wouldn't have the power to stop them, because the thing that they're fighting is racism, which gives them the privilege to be able to do anything. Despite, we can't even cancel Doja Cat. So, like, what are you talking about? They're not. We can't stop them from doing anything.
Stop them. That's what you're misunderstanding. I'm not saying we stop them. I'm saying, is that a thing?
Because what you're saying doesn't make sense. Because understanding how society even moves is to the benefit of white people. So in this conversation, you keep talking about allies, and then you're talking about black people stopping them. Are we stopping them from appropriating? They completely come in and appropriate everything we do, still and recreate and rebrand it as if it's their own. So how are we stopping them from fighting?
Which is why I'm asking the question, would
it's
it
not
become
bypassing the question, because what you might not realize is, even if they wanted to stop the system or actually go against it, they're going against themselves, and they're not going to go against themselves. So if how could black people stop them for actually fighting for racism to end or even affect the system when they benefit from it?
So all the white people that do actually fight against the system, they just mean nothing.
Where are they? No. I'm serious. Please stop being hypothetical. It's really annoying. Tell me where. All right, give me one movement, please. Tell me, where was their march? Please let me know. Where was their Million Man March? Please. No. No fucking point. No. I don't care about your point. You just said something. Qualify it for once in this discussion. Qualify what you just said. Where the hell are they?
I know plenty of people.
Where are they? Where are they?
You must not be on the.
Where are they? Where are they?
What do you mean?
Where are they?
You're not.
Where's the 10 million? Where's the 10 million army of anti-racists that are working every day to dismantle racism, white supremacy worldwide? Where are they, please? I want to go to a meeting. Let me know.
As soon
it's
as
not happening.
She's not telling me.
We'll just tell them they have to come.
It is not 2 minutes. We have so much faith because it hurts black people to believe that these people do not have our best interests at heart, because we empathize with them so much that we have a disconnect. And Dr. Joy DeGroy and Dr. Francis Cress Wilson talked about this. We have cognitive dissonance. We see humanity in them. We cannot believe they don't see humanity in us. We cannot believe it. We have to believe that 5% of them, 5%. You said I'm not misquoting you at all. You said that they exist. Tell me where they exist at, please.
What I'm saying. What I am saying.
Go ahead.
Just because there are not groups.
No. Now you're saying something else. I'm holding you to what you said already. You already said it.
Literally millions upon millions upon millions.
Where are these millions? Where? What's the name of their movement? What's the name of their movement?
So my question to you is,
what's the name of their movement? You're not answering. I'm not answering your questions. You answering my questions. This is my life.
How are they all together?
Where are they? Where are they, Susie Ann? Please.
I just don't understand how
you can't answer that. You can't answer it. She can't answer that.
I just don't understand.
There's no white-led movement for liberation of people.
My point is, that's my point.
Like
there is absolutely
one
not.
at a time. Hey, one at a time.
White people are telling you it don't exist.
I'm not saying you're
They don't. Hey, can I just say something really quick? I know I have no place to speak, but I just want to say something really quick. As a white person,
before you talk, you got to give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Okay, I am 36. I am white, and I go by he, him, or they, them.
Okay. Talk to us.
I just wanted to say, as a white person, from the time I was a child, I was taught things. Like, I was taught Malcolm X was like a demon. I was taught things like this.
Yep.
So all of us have this we all have this preconceived notion that we are better, that even the good things that the black movements have done were done in bad ways.
Yep.
We were taught that we made America and that you guys are borrowing it now, basically. Like, we're fed these things, even in subtle ways, our whole lives. So, I could never be a true ally because I will live the rest of my life trying to deconstruct that.
Yeah.
So you really feel like
that's real.
Because you're going to constantly deconstruct it, you can't at all be an ally?
Well, I can do some things to help, but I will never be wholly away from these inner thoughts and notions that I am a better, that we are better.
Sounds like.
No, I
well,
yes,
hold on, Dominique.
exactly.
It's not your turn
You
yet.
have white parents. You
I guess
probably
in my thought process, I don't see how the fact that you are actually trying to become that better understanding and literally relearn everything. So
you people that walk in the skin
and somehow that does not make you.
No, that's great.
But the issue is,
I'm asking.
Nah, sis, you.
That's crazy. The people that walk in the skin every day are telling you that they raised in this, and you still gonna push back as if you walk around in white skin. You know better.
it was this year that I realized Malcolm X made a lot of sense. It was this year. I'm 36 years old. I always thought that he was like demonic.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying.
Hey, Aziza.
I think that you're not listening.
I just wanted to put a white person's perspective that's going to be honest out there for you guys. Yeah. I'm going to back out. I have no room to really speak on the topic. I just wanted to say that for y'all.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Hey, Aziza, I got a question, love.
Yeah, sure.
Real
Hello?
quick, I was trying to say something real quick. Aziza, my question is, was racism created in a day?
No.
Then why would it only take one day of them deciding to be good people for them to unlearn all and unpack all the bullshit that was taught to them by this system? Like, do you watch the media? Do you watch the news? Do you watch the movies?
Yes.
Do you watch,
this
do you
is
read
what
books?
I'm saying. I get what you're saying. I'm not saying that they can't, that they're not, it's not a journey. I'm not saying that it's not something that takes a long time. What I'm saying is that effort, is that thought process, that coming to God moment of, okay, I see what's going on here. This is wrong. And standing 10 toes down on it's wrong, knowing that I don't have a place to speak over here. That's not an ally.
What?
All right. Hold on.
I understand what she's saying. Can I try after
But
you're
she's using
done,
the word
brother?
ally wrong. All right. So listen. First of all, racism is a white problem that affects black people. It's not a black problem.
Yes.
When we're by ourselves, we don't have a race problem. So it's a white problem. They have it in their communities. Mm-hmm. We don't have it in our communities. Mm-hmm. So it's something that affects us. It starts with them. So they have to dismantle it. That's why we can't get them to do it. They have to do it themselves. And that being the case, it is their mess to clean up. So when it comes to anti-racism, we're the allies because we're helping them clean up their own mess. It gets on us, but it's their mess to clean up. So then when it comes to being pro-black, that's about us building our black utopia. That's about us doing our thing. That's about that has nothing.
At some point?
That has yes, at some point. But hold on, that has nothing to do with racism. Pro-blackness has nothing to do with racism, and we definitely aren't bringing anyone that that has benefited from anti-blackness for hundreds of years to our corner of safety and what we're trying to build in our community. So they can't be an ally in that. That's where B up here has no place to speak. Is when we're talking about pro-blackness. Talking about anti-racism, he does have a place to speak, but in that scenario, he's not an ally. We're the allies. To say that white people are allies to racism or anti-racism is saying that it's our problem and they're helping us with it. No, they're the ones with the problem, and we're the ones helping.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I actually see what you're saying. I don't know if I was using ally wrong. I don't know if you were. I don't. Like, because when I think of
Lisa,
ally, I don't think
Lisa,
of it in the sense like I see
Lisa,
what you're saying. I
pause.
do genuinely. I just when you say ally, I mean someone who's on your side, and you're saying that they can't be on our side, but you're saying it in the sense that they can't be protected by us.
Honestly,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry, brother. Can I try out?
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. So, Aziza, quick question. Do you think an ally should have everything that unpacked that goes against that community for them to be an ally?
No, I think it should
Wow.
be because that's impossible. We're at a place in time in history where like to do that, like you said, it would take so long to be fully unpacked that you would be no help.
So at what point in history has anything ever been addressed to what's happened?
But I'm saying that's
When has
now
any of this
doing
been
it now.
deconstructed? When has
All right, y'all. It's time to
anything
move
been
on.
addressed?
Shout out to
Let's move
Kira. It's independent pause. You know, that's the rule.
I,
Um,
I
it
really
was
try
interesting.
because I believe in trying to lead all people, but
Yo, fighting,
and go,
arguing with white
y'all.
folks. How you gonna tell them? That's crazy. Now, I'll be honest. I'll be honest
They
though.
walked in that experience every day.
I'll be honest, because what B did is it displayed anti-racism. Anti-racism is not denying that you're racist. It says that inherently I am racist. Inherently, there is a system of privilege that was built for me to benefit, and I work to dismantle it. Like,
What's your thoughts on
when,
mixed people then? I'm just curious.
all right, give us your age, race, and Dominique. Age, race, and pronouns, Dominique. You keep butting in. Go ahead, talk to us.
I mean, you let me come
Age, race,
in,
and
so
pronouns.
I am 38. I am obviously a female, and I'm a woman. Period. Point blank. I don't go by pronouns.
Okay.
I live my life. So anyway, my thing is like, okay, I get it with when it comes to the whole white people, because basically you're in America. The country was built off of racism, was it not?
You
So
tell me.
we're all gonna have to deal. Of course it was. I mean, I'm not an American, so I can't fucking speak on too much. But I've been here my whole life, pretty much. So
Where are you from?
I'm from England.
That was built on racism too.
That part.
I mean, technically, the people from Europe came here, and that's with the genocide towards the Indians. So, my thing is like, okay, so I get it with the whole white people thing. That guy that was in the thing, or still is, or whatever, like he said, he was raised by white supremacy. But at what point do we start moving forward? You're saying that, all white people are racist and black
Does
people can't
racism
be.
still exist?
Black, of course it does.
So then-
black people can't be
She want everybody to
racist.
hold hands and shut up. That's what she want people to do.
Listen, girl, please.
Girl, please, I'm nobody's girl, honey. Be
Okay.
careful. You got the right one.
Listen, you have the right one.
You got the
so
right
don't
one.
come,
Now,
don't
honey,
come
you
for
Oh
got
me.
the
boy.
right one.
All right.
So
Yeah.
all I'm saying,
You shouldn't have said girl.
is,
Slick.
shouldn't
is
have
she
said
not
girl.
a female?
Eggs,
No.
bacon. I'm not
Oh
a
my
female.
God, you called her
I'm
female.
definitely not a female.
Oh my God.
Well, you sound
definitely not a
female. I'm
female.
sorry.
Oh
That's a
no.
human
You
Oh
can
my
animal,
God.
That's a
but I'm
human.
nobody's
So,
Oh, this
with
is
that being
devolving quick.
with that
I got
Oh
you.
my
said,
I'm gonna tell.
with
There's
that
only
being
one
said,
female on this live right now.
well, I'm sorry, she sound like a girl.
No, you're the female.
You're the female. I ain't no animal. That's
Me.
you.
the reason
Yes,
why
it's
you should not be
human.
called.
Are y'all insane?
Yeah.
Are y'all
Yeah.
really insane?
How are we insane?
Real quick, Dominique.
How are we insane? What the hell?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
So, what nationality do you think I am?
Female?
Y'all look stupid, if anything.
Who
Alright.
All of us laughing at you. Come on, get a grip.
You don't
What do you
sound
get?
British.
Eggs and bacon?
Like I said, I have not.
with some beans and
I
toast.
haven't been in England since I was little.
Okay, so sis, Dominique, hello. This is Harlene Quinzel. You're not talking to Diva right now. So the first thing I want to say is that
She got five?
calling a black woman girl
is very demeaning and
I'm
derogatory.
half black. I don't give a damn how you feel about it.
Don't call me no George. That's what
Now she had
Well,
black.
I'm
Oh
not a
no! If you was
female
black, you would
either.
have knew not to call her no female. You go away. Bye bye. All right.
Goofy.
That was crazy. Now she
Oh
had
yeah, you
black. I
have for some.
can't.
If you're black, even if you're not black presenting, you know the history of what happened to black women.
She
We are
ain't
not
black.
females, honey
She
bun.
ain't black. Yeah, she
okay,
ain't.
she
She
ain't.
ain't black.
I'm gonna say this about the she ain't black part because I want everyone to be clear. We are not saying that she does not have a black parent. We are saying that she has not actively been raised within the black
Yeah,
culture,
that's
but
right.
within the knowledge of being black and the
Exactly.
understanding that we have of our culture,
Right.
and everything that has happened to us. Therefore, when we say she is not black, we are not calling into question her blackness in that sense.
Not on the outside.
We are calling into into the
That's it.
question her mental acuity with blackness. She
Right.
aligns with the whiteness that came out of her daddy's nutsack. I'm betting.
Mama. That's her
So
Yeah.
that
mama.
came out automatically. That came out automatically.
Yes, we
But
understand though.
for
Let's keep it. Let me
Dominique,
keep the live going. I appreciate you, sister.
of course,
Thank you for breaking so much stuff down. I love when you come up here.
always. You know I'll do that for you, bro.
Yeah. B, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns? Well, actually, I think you did that already, didn't he?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I'm
B,
Thought you
go ahead.
did.
23.
I'm sorry. I thought you was a man.
Oh, it's cool. I'm gender fluid. I
Oh, my bad.
use
All right.
all pronouns.
Cool.
Any pronouns work. I'm 23 and I'm white.
All right. Talk to us.
I just wanted to touch back on something we were talking about a while ago, and you asked like, where's the white leadership in starting anti-racist movements? And as someone who's been really active
Please
in
don't
my
say Joe Biden.
community, oh heck no, it's not there. It's not there. I go to protests, I go outside, I talk to people, I try to like step outside of the white community as much as I can to be able to like, fill the divide. And every time I'm at a protest that is for something that is anti-racist, I am searching left and right for people who look like me.
Yeah.
And it hurts real bad. And yeah, that 5% thing, whoever said it is real. I was like, all right, I know 100 white people, maybe 5 of them are cool. That's real. That's not a joke. And yeah, I think what you said about being an ally is really important because it is our problem. If you're a white person and you don't think about being anti-racist every single day, then you can't even begin to speak on what allyship means.
Yeah. I mean, it's not allyship. That's the thing. It's just
Right.
white society fixing a white society problem. This is the
Yep.
problem that created white
Yep.
society. So otherwise, we'd all be people, and we wouldn't
Right.
have white, black, and all that other stuff.
Right.
So that's why when people answer this question, they skip over white people, and they just think white as like a neutral, natural way to categorize people. But no, the term in itself is racist. So anyone that identifies as white or knows, even internalized, a white identity is going to be inherently racist because whiteness is racist. It is meant to be superior to all other races. It's there's no way around that.
It's categorically racist because
Yeah.
you're drawing that polarity. And historically, we know where the hierarchy lies and who's at the top and why
You're
they're
right.
there. So yeah.
And with that knowledge, when we say 1 in 5 of them might have the capacity for empathy, 105 might have the capacity for empathy. 105 might each actually even have empathy for black people, but
Yeah.
5 out of 100 are not anti-racist because they ain't doing shit about it.
Yeah, I
And
think that
they live in the
sorry.
same neighborhoods as the racists. So
Yep.
to us as black people, it looks like the right hand will punch you and the left hand will kind of like rob you behind your back. And so the right hand is the one everyone's like, oh, that's racist. The right hand is Donald Trump's and the MAGA people. They're out here doing it for their community and don't give a damn about no one else. And then the Democrats are kind of like, oh, we're sorry, but yeah, we'll
Yep.
take some of that privilege though. We're so
Yep.
sorry. We live in the same neighborhoods that we redlined you out of, and we still get the mortgages that you can't get, and the jobs that you can't get, and our children get born, in better hospitals, better doctors, and our women are not 6 times more likely to be unalived giving birth to our children, and our incarceration rates are lower, our lifespan is longer, all of this great stuff, right? They're like, oh, we get all that, but we just feel bad about it, and we just keep losing, and just we keep trying, and gosh darn it, Donald Trump wins again. So it's kind of like, yeah, we ain't falling for that no more. Y'all got to get it together for yourselves.
I think that there's something to be said about the difference between empathy and compassion and action. And I think that there is guilt and shame that hasn't been unpacked to a level that is allowing people to actually have compassion that moves them to action. They might have saw something on the internet or have a coworker or someone at their church that may have tugged on 1 or 2 heartstrings, but they're not taking that and educating themselves so that the people around them are moving differently and thinking differently and unpacking all the things that are ingrained in us from our genetic trauma that we put out into the world and into the things that we have been conditioned since birth. And so I think if you're not pulling up to your Thanksgiving and saying, here's the list of all the indigenous tribes in our area, let's have a moment of silence before this prayer. If you're not doing things like that feel wildly uncomfortable in extremely white spaces, then
I'll be honest, we can beat prayer. I'm gonna be honest. This is how I look at it, right? Like, imagine your next door neighbor was a known ex-offender. You know what I'm saying? I'm being TikTok friendly, right? So he's an ex-offender, an SX offender. You know what I'm saying? And you know that he's taking small children by the van load and putting them in his basement. You see him doing it, you approach him, and you say, hey, man, this ain't right. He says, you know what? I'll put $1,000 every day on your doorstep if you just keep quiet. You say, look, man, this ain't right. And then you go home, right? And you're thinking there's nothing else you can do. And every day you get that $1,000. And you feel really guilty, you feel really bad, but you take that $1,000. You're like, whatever. You see videos of what's happening to the children in the basement. You hear the children screaming. You see them trying to escape and marching around your neighbor's house, and you're like, oh my goodness, it's so bad. You get together with your friends who also get $1,000 a day, and you say, man, we're having this book club because, it's so bad, and, what's happening to them. Yeah, man, it's so rough. Meanwhile, you all have this money that you could be using to buy munitions, you know what I'm saying, to go do something, maybe save the children. You could get together. You could just, do something radical to go save the kids. It would be common sense in like a horror movie, but that's what I'm saying. When you talk about uncomfortable, I think it needs to be revolutionary.
Right.
And there's no way in hell. Y'all still on thoughts and prayers. So there's no way in hell. But let your favorite hockey team win. Y'all will burn down the town. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Trash cans, cars flipped over. Where's that energy? If it's 5 in every 100, you know what I'm saying? Where's it? That's 20. Wait, how much was that? 10 million? It's 10 million. Where they at? All we need is 100,000.
Yeah.
So
I think that the brainwashing, and not that it's an excuse at all, because you're a grown adult and it is almost 2024, and I am a young person. Okay, I've not been here long enough to even experience all the bullshit, but I think that sorry, I just lost my whole train of thought.
okay, that's cool.
I was going somewhere with it, but anyway, I appreciate y'all for allowing me to take up a little space in this conversation.
All right. Yep. Well, if you remember what you were going to say, feel free to chime back in.
Okay.
I'll go to the next guest.
All right. Thank you so much.
Who is next? I don't know if okay. I don't know who's next. And my moderator's not here. Someone said Kush. All right. Oh, my moderator is here. Kush, what's going on, sister?
Hey, what's going on, family?
I'm good. Talk to us.
And now she posted 3 times.
So I gotta go, bro. But much love,
All
peace,
right.
light.
All
Hey,
right, sister.
Goodbye.
Ashe.
honey.
All right. Talk to us, Kush.
I just wanted to say, it's kind of easy sometimes as a Black person to be very general after we learn all the glory details about what happened to our ancestors is still happening today on a large scale. It's like really difficult to not be general when I speak about like YT people, but I can. I do have to acknowledge that there are people like being here. It really makes me feel like there's some hope, you know what I'm saying? Because at least
You cutting out, Kush. We can barely hear you.
oh, okay. No, I'm
Barely
saying
hear you.
I'm just happy there's YT people like me because, a lot of them, I can't stand it when they act like, oh, racism don't exist. Oh, that stuff happened a long time ago. And all of this sweeping it under the rug and ignoring it. And just because it doesn't apply to them, they don't want to see it. They don't want to acknowledge it. They don't want to correct themselves on even their own microaggression.
Yeah.
Those, they really make me give up hope in all of them. You know what I'm
I'll
saying?
be honest though. She made me give up hope too. Or she said pronouns didn't matter, but they made me give up hope as well. I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's cool to have critical thinking, but like I said, it's like they all get together at a tea party and they know what's going on in their neighbor's basement, and they're just kind of like, wow, look at it, so bad. We're so wrong for this, and they can articulate that all day. It doesn't give me any hope, you know.
I know. I know, but it literally takes a long time for them to even come that far to where they can really like even sympathize, like she said, and be willing to correct their own self for the microaggressions and different things like that, and to acknowledge
I'll give her
all
this. It's
right.
easier. It's easier to deal with them in these discussions when they have that much critical thinking. That's all I can give them. That's it. I mean, that's it, really. I don't know.
We praising people for like a fish for swimming. I'm gonna be honest with you. I expect that. If you don't give me that, you just showing me that you're racist off top. Like you're showing me that you enjoy your racism and you're living in it fully. I think that the Black people, the issue that we're having is we're surprised to even hear it. But instead of us being like, now go talk to your people, we're just ready to celebrate that they can swim. It's kind of scary. Because that's the bare minimum is to actually go speak in your communities about the issues that are affecting everyone else. Because it's not just affecting Black people. We have to understand this stuff trickles down far deeper than we'll understand. This is generational, and we do ourselves a disservice by thinking, oh, they don't know. Listen, they have generationally seen how they can go tell you their stories with their grandpas. If y'all ever go look up, brother, I think I was asking you about this. There's like, I don't know who channel it is, but they talk about how YT people are on a live bed and how they will tell how they've done horror stories. And there's one particular one I heard recently about a firefighter who talks about how he watched kids burn in a building. Someone stuck in a car and it was on fire and he just watched and walked away. Like they literally did this. And on their unaliving beds, there's literally nurses that tell these stories about how these people confess to the things
Oh
they've done
yeah,
to
I
Black
have heard
communities.
that.
Sad.
Yeah, that's messed up. That's real messed up.
Bad. I wouldn't give them no peace of mind either. I'm like, you're gonna have to go to rest with that. You're gonna have to rest with that because I don't forgive you.
That's crazy.
Looking for me to clear your conscience. That's not where it's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's crazy. Shout out to y'all for the gifts, man.
I totally feel where you're coming from, though, D. I think, definitely they all need to be doing the actual work. If they could get out there and celebrate homeless puppies and create a rally
Right.
act, You know what I'm saying? It got to be some of them, like you say, even just the 10% of your population, a small fragment to raise their voice. That
Yeah.
helps a lot, you know. And then when they, but it's still progress. Because even still on a larger scale, I hear most of them so proud to be white, and they just really want to sweep racism under the rug and pretend it doesn't happen. And it's for so long, like, that's the ones that really exhaust me, you know, the ones who could at least come off the way she was. It really is slightly refreshing because I hear most of them not even care, not even acknowledge it, not one iota. They're like, you know, we're playing victim, is what they say, you know. And honestly, when I hear in African logs and stuff like that, the Arabic people over there in their country sound just the same. I'm proud to be an Arab. I'm proud of this. I'm like, really? Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, well, yeah. That those are the two. Those are the two. You know, main groups that oppress us as a people. The Arabs and the Europeans. So, except Arabs is an ethnicity, but they probably would prefer to be called West Asians, but that's what Dr. Chancellor Williams would call them, or John Henry Clark, West Asians. They're actually Asian. There's no such thing as the Middle East because the Middle East is just east of Europe, so that's why they call it the Middle East. But there are black Arab people and there are white Arab people. I've met some, so yeah, that's a
Exactly.
thing.
And even the black ones, they still embrace that Arab side of them. They say I'm black and I'm Arab. Make sure
Right?
the
Yeah.
Arab part be known.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, thank you for that rundown. Did you want to answer any questions? Up to you.
Yeah, the first one I was going to say, if more of them carry at least an acknowledgement and some kind of level of sympathizing and just whatever, maybe those would be the ones that would um, you know, be allies, you know, because then they could actually go out. I was in another one of these kind of conversations and they asked this, the YT woman, like, what are you actively doing to combat this racist system? And she said she worked in healthcare and she see how the healthcare for black women is just very poor. So she asked them to change the system in ways that would step it up and would be more beneficial to us, just like what they have going on for the YT people. So I appreciate that. I just really do. And yeah, that's all.
I think it's so many people that are like just scared to lose their jobs or lose things like that. But I think that like being a part of the community is like standing up for what's right no matter what happens. Like I was in beauty school for damn near a year and I almost graduated, and I literally left without getting any certification or any credentials because the institution that I was paying wouldn't let me bring clients in for locks and twists and braids. And basically they told me if I tried to do that, I was going to get like a demerit. They
I'll be
literally
honest. I'll be honest with you. I don't think you should be doing that. But
doing what?
locks and twists and braids. I don't think you should be doing that. I don't think you should be doing that. I don't think you should do it. To be honest,
Why not?
because I would say
Have you ever had your hair braided as a kid? That's something you culturally did.
Yeah, my mom does hair. So
Your
like
mom used to braid your hair in box braids and locks.
no, not box braids, but like a Dutch braid or a French braid, which is an adaptation
how many
of a
is that?
cornrow.
Yeah. So this is the thing. I feel like the issue with us is we don't put enough boundaries in our community because it's a respect factor at this point. The need to come in and do something that you don't even culturally understand fully, but the level of saying, "Oh, it's just hair," is the biggest issue I have with a lot of people because
I
it's not just
agree.
hair for Black women
I
particularly.
agree.
But the need to educate and then not only figure out how or learn how to do it, but profit off of it, off of a culture that you know you really don't understand fully is insulting.
I was not profiting. I was learning and educating myself.
But you will be, right?
No,
So you're
That's
telling
why I
me,
said you should be
and
doing it.
the
I just think you
topic
should
is,
be doing it.
if
Yeah.
someone walks in and wants locks, you're not gonna do those locks,
No, I did. I absolutely did.
and you
And
would be
here,
profiting when you
yes,
graduate.
and I was profiting. I was
Right.
profiting off of that afterwards, and I
Exactly.
continued to do locks and twists. But here's the thing. I
Anybody
knew
black
that.
that's going to a
I
Thin
knew
Lippian to
that.
do
I
their
knew I
locks
wasn't black.
is out their
And I
damn mind. I can't imagine
You
what
don't understand. You don't
I would
care to
never.
respect the boundaries.
That's what I'm saying. When it comes to figuring out a way that you can not only learn something that is beneficial for you, even though you didn't grow up in the culture, you don't fully understand it, you still feel entitled to come and learn it and do it to profit for yourself. That's the boundary which y'all don't respect black
can
people.
I explain why I started doing
But
locks?
do you understand the boundary?
Let her
I
explain.
absolutely understand the boundary, and that's why I quit the school. That's why I didn't go back, because I learned how to do these things because the people around me had a need that I knew how to do. I knew how to lock. I knew how to twist. My friends and my family needed someone to do their hair, and I charged them $50. And other people around me that did the same quality of work.
Y'all funny as hell. They said 4 and 5. I don't know how many that was, man. Y'all funny as hell.
That's what I'm talking about. See, Kush, you see? Not only did you come in our environment and play in our face, where you understand what your ancestors and what your grandmother and your mother and them do to our community, and now you try to figure out a way to come around and be around and profit off of us.
I'm gonna be honest.
That's the boundaries.
The thing is, even if you do, and this is the thing, because it sound like we just being mean. But the thing is, even if you do appreciate what some of them say, because some of them will eat, like they'll get something off, and it's like that was cool. You just can't let them know. You can't let them know, because then once you let them know, it goes to they feel too appreciated. Yeah,
I'm gonna walk all over. Okay, so
yeah.
let me say this since you
They
in the
start
chat.
doing the
Let me say
stanky
this
leg.
real quick. It's what the problem is that you don't understand boundaries of someone telling you what you should not be doing that you don't culturally understand. I can tell you not only of sitting in a house and watching my brother's hair be twisted or my cousin's hair be twisted or my hair be braided, and we're 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, but there's a whole culture to this. And you're telling me because you know how to do something, no matter what someone is saying that is black and actually lives in that culture, you felt like because you know how to do it, you should just do it, and you should be making your $50 off of it. So you don't see it being insulting to us. You just feel like, well, I know how to do it. And that is where y'all don't understand boundaries. YT people have never had boundaries, and that's the pushback in which y'all have. Because even in this conversation, you're gonna tell me you didn't profit, but you charged $50. Where was it going to hell?
May I give an insight? I just found out that I can unmute myself and mute myself, but I don't want to respectfully, I don't want to, cut anybody off.
It is time to move on. Gabs, give us your age, your race, and your pronouns, please.
So
wait, hold on. Was Gabs up here before Fro person? Fro is next. All right, Gabs, you gotta wait.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You
That's
gotta
okay.
wait. Please write it down or something. Don't forget.
Let him go and do something real quick. That's actually perfect.
Okay, all right, cool. Go ahead, Gabs. Age, race, and pronouns.
I am 23. I'm 23. I'm a white female, and I go by she, her.
Interesting.
So I grew up in Houston, Texas, and that is predominantly like a mixed melting pot. So there's not really per se as far as like majority, minority. It's pretty much like multi-blending. But
That's not true. But I hear you.
I would like to say, because I grew up in Houston, Texas, I have seen more, at least in my, I'm talking about more like in my school and stuff like that. So like growing up, like in my school and stuff like that, I saw like everybody as human. And so I wasn't really,
Lord have mercy.
I guess brainwashed by the whole, white people are better than black people, or
Lord have mercy.
arguments between races, until I got into high school. And when I started driving down the road, it was me and my best friend, and she is black, and a cop pulled us over, and they came on her side, and she told me and looked me dead in the eyes and was like, if you weren't here, it could have been bad. And that's when that's when I really took note of that, and I really did my research and everything into just.
All right, y'all. Thank you. Hey, man. Shout out to y'all for the Panther Pause. I don't know where that was going. Someone said it was going to my friend is black, y'all. I can't. Yo, we got some comedians in the comments tonight, man. Y'all are hilarious. I'm sitting here trying not to die laughing. Thank you. I think it was Stella and me, myself, and I. Thank you for the Panther Pause. We're gonna keep it pushing. Fro, are you still busy? Fro, he probably still busy. I'm gonna go to the next guest.
I'm back.
Oh, you're back. All right, talk to his family. Age, race, and pronouns, please.
Oh, yo, name's Simeon. I'm 25. I'm a black, biracial, non-binary individual.
Okay.
Well,
you
I
said
just
black.
like
No, you said it right. You said all of that right.
Let's go.
Yeah, talk to us.
Let's see. Can white folk be allies? I don't think so. It's been a hard journey for myself, and it was interesting even having be up here. Without getting too deep into it, ran deep in some activist stuff from 2020. Just kind of took to heart after like a couple years and seeing how so many of the folks who I considered allies, I would catch them during colonizer days like Thanksgiving or the 4th, and just be on their stories creeping. I'm like, I knew you was a lie. I knew you was faking it. My pop said it well. I had this whole heartfelt conversation, just kind of venting to him about it after like kind of one of the final allies exposed themselves. And I was just, he said it well. It's like, well, they're always going to run back to their culture. One way or another, the system isn't even set up to incentivize them to step out of it. Like it kind of showed with this B lady. Like she went to this cosmetology school and stepped out, but was still charging black folk $50 for their hair. Like, and I love that's when you kicked them, because it's just like, well, why even charge them? Like that's the whole point, And it's like consistently you'll always find something. It's just like they're not black folk, and it's okay. Y'all can go do your things. You can show support. You can put money towards us. You can just listen to what we say. But the second white people start going out of their way to build platforms and do all this in the guise of assisting us, nah, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
Are white people inherently racist? Absolutely. The system was built. It is racism. You kind of said it perfectly a little bit ago, so I don't feel like I could sum it up better. It's just, it was created by them. It is them. It exists. And then the same, it's almost a trick question, because if you answer the first one correctly, then you already know it's good with the second one, with the third one. But can black and white cultures peacefully coexist? No. That one culture exists to oppress the other. So not possible.
All right. Thank you for cleaning up the live, man. We appreciate you. You brought us back to the ancestors with that one. Thank you.
Got you.
Yeah, he did well. We usually give our grades. I give the brother A plus. He did what he had to do.
Plus.
You good.
Absolutely. And I guess we'll just go on to the next guest. Thanks for coming up, man. Feel free to come up again.
You're
all right. Oh wait, where you from?
I'm from Washington.
Oh, all right. I think y'all do say. Wait, you mean Washington, like state?
State, yeah.
Oh, damn. All right. What you know about your?
I'm an internet black person.
Oh, okay, all right. Because that's some East Coast shit. I was like, oh snap, you from the East Coast too? But yeah, that's what's up. Thank you for providing us with some value on here.
Hell yeah, stay up.
All right. Someone's playing music too loud. I don't know what that is. Ghost, you got music playing. All right. Yeah, you're on some weird shit. Yeah, some weird shit. I don't know what that is. We ain't doing that. I don't know what y'all on. They be playing a little weird music. Ikeen, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please? Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. Miss K was here before you. My bad. I'll come to you. Miss K, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
Black, almost 60, and a woman.
Appreciate you, sister. How you doing?
Fine.
Talk to us.
All right. This for the black community. And I said this today on my live, and they called me racist. But I know that you ain't religious. But I'm going to just say this. I told them to quit praying for them. Just, we're going to pray God, to pray and ask God to get rid of the evil. And they called me racist. Because yes, they called me. I said, quit praying for them. Why are y'all praying for on your own demise? If you know these people don't love you or like you, quit praying for these folks. Leave them alone.
Damn.
And
That's
they got
facts,
mad
though.
but it's facts. Why are you praying for somebody? I told them to quit praying for the police, everything. Ask God to take all the evil off the world, and guess who's gonna be left? Us. That's
That's
all I had to say.
That's crazy because they took us from our spirituality and gave us religion. And religion says that you don't acknowledge your ancestors in your prayers. So you don't pray to those that came before you. Instead, forget all that. No. White Jesus. You know what I'm saying? White Jesus. That's who you pray to. You pray to the Son of God is white. So what color is God? You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. No, that's facts. Because if you pray to your ancestors, if if you're spiritually aligned with your ancestors, then you're going to think of the context by which they were treated and move accordingly. So that's real, Auntie. I appreciate you. That's real
That's
shit.
all I had to say. But they was highly upset.
Yeah.
They was highly upset, honey. I moved some things today with that one, okay? That's all I had to say. But I
All
love
right.
you. Thank you for
All
letting
right.
me on, okay?
Yes. One love, Auntie. Appreciate you.
Even with the religion that they gave us, right, to pray with, they burned down the churches. So they don't want your prayers. They don't even believe in the same God. They don't respect it or anything.
Right.
Like they burn crosses, burn down churches, like literally.
Yeah, they don't believe in it.
There was a YT guy who walked in the church, prayed with people, and then unaligned
Right.
everybody. Y'all hear about that? So, like, what is the use in doing that? Just
Because they don't use. See, that's the thing. And John Henry Clark talks about this the best. But if y'all really want to get deep, who wants to get deep into religion and deconstructing that? If you do, but be careful. This ain't for everybody. Who I'm about to tell y'all about. Y'all know I like to give you sources. Dr. Ishaka Musa Barashango. Y'all can look him up. Barashango. Dr. Barashango. Barashango. Dr. Barashango. He's also works with John Henry Clark. If y'all really want to get deep into decolonizing religion, look no further. What was I going to tell you? What was I going to tell you? I was going to tell you something John Henry Clark said. So so religion is something that we believe because it came from our ancestors. The spirituality that's in all religions came from our ancestors. And there's a book about this by Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen, where he talks about the African origin of all popular religions. So all religions that believe you have a soul, that came from Africa. Africans were the first people to say, we're not just mind and body, we have a soul. Like they was the first ones to think that up. And African spiritual practices predate Christianity by 4,000 years. Judaism by thousands of years. Like this is going back, all right? Humanity type shit. So that being the case, the thing that that resonates with us when it comes to religion is that we believe in it in its purest form. We believe in the spirituality. We believe in the empathy. We believe in aligning ourselves with God, being in tune. The thing is, they don't believe in that shit. They just use that shit. And it works on us because we believe it, and they just use it for political reasons. So they believe it to use it as a tool to subjugate you, a reason for justification to enslaving our ancestors and colonizing people's land because they weren't Christian, or enslaving different tribes in Africa because they weren't Muslim. So that's how they use it politically. We believe it spiritually, and so that's why it's a clash. We we can't worship the same God. So
That makes sense.
yeah, that's the thing, man. It's so deep. And then the other thing, and because of that, we also believe in democracy, and they don't. Because of that, we also believe in humanity, and they don't. We believe in Ubuntu. We believe in humanity for all people, and they don't. They don't practice any of this. We believe in nonviolence. Look at Martin Luther King. How did he go out of here? Violence. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we believe in all these things in their purest form. We believe too much. That's our problem. We actually believe. We need to stop having cognitive dissonance and look around.
I was just thinking of that word because, like I say, I'm in a lot of African laws. And they be like, yeah, we're trying to grow. We're trying to, we're done with this situation the way it is. I'm like, okay, well, then the first thing you guys need to do is decolonize yourselves. And then along with that comes getting rid of all the religion.
Right.
That is such a literal.
It's crazy. I'm doing that right now. So
yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Someone even said in the comments, like, no, they always say like, no, you got to leave that out of it and try to protect it. But someone one time said something in the comment really struck out to me. Said, you'll get unalived in Africa for trying to come in between people and their religion.
Yeah.
It's that serious. I'm like, wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. To this day. And yeah, it's crazy that they've made it feel like the more you go towards African spirituality, the further you go from God. And so understanding the philosophy of negritude and Bantu philosophy is where that comes from. Bantu philosophy, Bantu philosophy. If you want to understand how the ancestors thought of God, it gets wicked. I'm not. See, I shouldn't even said that. It gets holy. You know what I'm saying? It'll blow your mind. How they believed God was the earth, and they didn't build temples to the sky because they believed God was the earth. They believed in not God as a deity in the sky, but rather a verb. They believed God was the creator, the provider, the rainmaker. The person who gives us food. The one who gives us food. The energy. They believed in God as a verb. Whatever I am that I am just meant that he was or she was the provider of things, the emotion of things, not an actual consciousness judging us in the sky if we masturbate or I don't know, like you know what I'm saying, like judging us, looking down at us like you see what I'm saying? So yeah, it gets deep, man. I've been doing that with me and my wife. Yeah, so best of luck to anybody that's decolonizing religion, man. It's gonna make you look at your own family members crazy. I'll be honest.
How do you think we could help them with that, to move that?
Nah, you can't. It's psychosis. Religion is psychosis because it makes you have to believe in things that you don't see, and that's the other thing. We believe things instead of knowing things. That's what Dr. Ben Yosef Ben Yakadin talks about as well. We need to stop believing things because I don't have to believe I'm a black man. I know I'm a black man. You see what I'm saying? So you know what you know. You are who you are. Religion makes you have to become something else. You have to become a Christian. You have to be baptized and become a Christian. I know, for example, I'm a man. I was born a man. In order to be a man, I just had to be born. In order to have my last name, I just had to be born. So that being the case, Christianity, Islam, all these other things is forced upon us, or was forced upon us at the expense of being unalive if you don't do it, because they were trying to make you assimilate into a system of subjugation. So yeah.
And when I mentioned that it doesn't move them, do you think that maybe them understanding more about their own nature, like you said, we are kind of prone to being that way and being very spiritual? Maybe helping them understand that more could help them understand they don't need religion, maybe. And then I try to get them to go back to African spirituality. But you're right, they didn't.
It's a form of psychosis. They will never let that go. I mean, It depends on how old your parents are. I mean, for me, my mom, it's over. Like, there's no way. And then, I don't know. Even with other people, there's no way. It's no way. And it's funny because I believe in the thing that all those religions come from. So it's like, and some people, they deconstruct and then they get stuck in Egypt and they start believing the Egyptian gods. And that's where Christianity and Judaism come from. But I don't even get stuck there because even Ramses was using that as a form of assimilation because he was trying to assimilate the Jews into Egyptian society before they ran away. He made the Holy Trinity into one God, Amun-Ra, to make people stay in Egypt and just all worship the same God because the Jews, or they weren't called Jews at the time, but they practiced African spiritual practice called Yahwism. Yahweh, Yahwism was the name. And they had patriarchal families, and Egypt was matrilineal. So they were patriarchal, and they were a vulnerability to Egypt's defenses because they didn't assimilate into Egyptian society. So they tried to make one God and make them all assimilate to it. So even Egyptian religion is not the answer. When you go to African spirituality, you go back to like ancient practices like Ifa, like when you deep dive into Bantu philosophy, that's when all the deconstruction happens, and then you see that people are stuck, man. I don't know. I don't think we can do that
That's
yet.
what my wife is working on that part.
Yeah. Yeah, it's deep. I know some spiritual people. I might host a live with some of them. That know more than me. I'm just an apprentice. There's people that's deep in this. Oh yeah. Also, by the way, fun fact, y'all. Tarot cards are not part of African spirituality. Our ancestors didn't have tarot cards. We could talk about that, but that's Italian and French. So.
What did they use? Did they have some other means of?
There were other means, but in African spirituality, they didn't use things to predict the future, but more as a way to teach you a spiritual lesson. So if something said that something bad was going to happen, they would just know that a lesson was about to be learned and to keep their heart and mind open to the solution, as opposed to looking at it like a fortune telling device. So, but there's people that can break that down better than me. Like I said, my aspect of my life is more focused on culture and history, society and anti-racism more than spirituality. But I naturally study all these things from my personal life. So, yeah, it's deep.
I have an African guy I'm seeing, and I get people to give me card readings and stuff, and he laughed at me. He said, "That's not how it's done." He said, because he tell me, "What did you tell them? What did you ask them anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, I asked them, about you, if you cheated or whatever. Or if I ask you." He said, "But even within asking them these questions, you're telling them half of the story." He said, there are people in his country, and he knows of one that could just walk up to you and tell you things without you having to say a word.
Yeah.
They don't even ask for any money from you. They say whatever you want to give out of the kindness of your heart, they would accept it. But they don't want you to give anything that you're going to feel bad about later.
Right.
Those are the real true ones. You don't have to tell them nothing or give them nothing. They just do like that. I'm like, wow.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've heard about that as well. Yeah. The tarot thing surprised me and my wife when we found out. That's not part of our ancient tradition. Now there are ancestors that put our spirituality, just like with Christianity, just like with Islam, they're the African version of Christianity. Outside of the Ethiopian version, the AME Church, African Methodist Church, and then you've got in Western Africa, the Muslim people there actually kept the matrilineal system in place. So it's not the same as the Arab Islamic, states and things like that. So we take what other people give us, and then we add our spirituality to it, and that's what makes it a problem, and that's what makes us all believe it, because naturally we're going to believe what came from our ancestors. So, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're not the only ones that did that either. The Native Americans did that as well. That's why a lot of their practices are what their ancestors' practices, but now they do it with Mary and Joseph. But
Right. I
it's the
have a
same practices. Yeah, that was just to appease massa.
Oh,
Yeah.
intriguing. I appreciate that one because I have a Haitian friend into that life too. But he with Mary and Joseph. I'm like, wait a minute. Are you African spirituality or are you religious?
Yeah, it all comes from us. Let me go to the next guest. They've been waiting. I appreciate you. I'm gonna do one on spirituality. We'll do a live on that and talk on it. But I'm gonna have to invite someone else up. Hey, if somebody knows some spiritual brothers and sisters, they gotta be on point though. I'm not about to mislead folks. They gotta be. Yeah, I know two of them, but I just gotta see if they'll come up here. Actually, I'll try to invite somebody up. Ikeem, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
Yo,
What's going on?
what's going on, brother? So, I'm 29, male, and I'm black.
Appreciate you. Talk to us.
So, just on, I guess, the religious tip, I just also want to tell anybody who believe in the Bible that just remember that J wasn't invented. So, Jesus is not a real person. When you're praying to Jesus, you're praying to a deity that Caucasian people made.
Yeah.
So, just want to say that.
Jesus is white. Yeshua was black.
Exactly. So, honestly, the only reason why I came up here was because of Gab's story about like the whole Houston thing. And
Yeah.
man, this is what my discernment was telling me about that, what she was getting into. So you can try to call Houston a melting pot, but really nobody's blended in. So how can it be a melting pot where nothing's not melting together, right? When she brought up the friend who got put over, she said the cop told her, if you wasn't here, it went down different. What Sermon told me was she literally caught that privileged power in her mind that moment. She said, oh my God, I can change black people's life just by being here.
Damn.
It's something that they can't even have. But I just got to be here to have that power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she don't even know she was trying to do that. She don't even know that that's where that was coming from. She literally was trying to say like, oh no, I was going to help my friend out. Like if it wasn't for me, but that's not true. You wouldn't do nothing. It's just the fact that you think that is the problem.
Yeah.
Because you wasn't going to go take the gun out the cop hand if he was going to hurt her. You know what I mean? Like, you just think that since your presence is white, that's everything that your black friend needed. And that's all I got to say, basically.
That's crazy. I mean, damn. I got pulled over one time with a white boy in the car, and he just laughed a lot, and I was not laughing. He kept laughing like, see, man, I told you we were good. And I was just like, yo, that was real.
Even when they like, one thing I say, I think every black person in this group agree with is when a person say, oh shoot, a police is there, you don't ever turn your head and look. You know what I mean? You just, if someone's telling you, it's telling you to let you know, like it could be danger around us. So, you know, when a white person hear that, they will automatically look and be like, oh, my bad. I didn't think it was that important. Like, they don't understand because they don't have danger when they see cops. They see cops as like, my dad pays for their rent. So wherever I say, they're going to do it. You know what I mean? It's not like that for us. Like, yeah, man, that's all I wanted to come up here to say, because that kind of, when she said that, I was like, I don't think she understand what she was getting to. And it's just wild how a lot of people don't understand that complex that they have.
Right. Yeah, it's true. Well, thank you for adding that to the live, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You as well, Ashe. Sister Tia, what's going on?
Hi, good night. How are you?
Hey, good night. How you doing? Where you from?
I'm in the DC area, but
Oh, okay. They be saying good night. Like Jamaican people be saying good night.
yeah, I am Jamaican. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we say hello, good night.
yeah. Like wait.
Yeah, that confuses people a lot.
Yeah. What's going on, sister?
Nothing much. Y'all kind of like far past what I came up here to like sprinkle on, but
Yeah.
you had mentioned something about like the when y'all were talking about religion and spirituality, like the I can't think of what I want to call it, but basically like monuments, sort of things, and some that are like built on ground. And there was a black guy here on TikTok that made like a brilliant video about this and how like your biases can be used to like make judgments about people based on this. And long story short, he had talked about, I guess, some group of YT people that were, you know, doing their gallivanting around the world, doing what they do. And there were like some group of indigenous people somewhere that had like these monuments to whoever their gods were, but they were like on the ground, like you had described. And the point I'm getting to from this is like what they extracted from that is these people are incapable of building things that,
Right. Yeah.
that we can build.
Facts.
But it's you're able to do that only because you remove the context of their gods are not in the sky. Their ancestors are in the ground, and that's how they stay connected to them. So their reverence, their physical reverence of them is small because they're in the ground and not in the sky.
Right.
And it's, you're able to say then, okay, look at these people. They're not as smart as me because they can't build these monstrous, you know, temples or whatever it is. But it's because you remove the understanding of who they're praying to and where those people or spirits they're praying to are. And like the video was masterful the way he broke this down. Like I'm not even doing it.
I wish you could find it. If you find it, DM it to me.
Yeah, I saved it. I definitely.
Oh, please. Yeah, because another thing too.
Fantastic breakdown.
Yeah, another thing too. They talk about in Bantu in negritude, which derives from Bantu philosophy. Basically, they talk about how negritude is a francophone Pan-African movement that really started to deconstruct and, you know, or construct, if you want to put it that way, how black people, how African ancestors saw themselves in the world philosophically and spiritually, and also break down kind of like art. So one of the things about the art that kind of like was like an aha moment. Well, not really, because we kind of knew this already, but is that African art isn't like when you look at a statue of David, right? It looks all realistic.
Yeah,
and people would say that's amazing. Oh man, that's better than an African statue of, you know, right, exactly, right. And so they'll say the Europeans were more talented.
Yes.
But we would look at that and say that means the Europeans had less creativity.
Right.
And they only care about aesthetics. They only care about how things look. And our African ancestors cared more about how things felt.
Right.
And a lot of their statues and masks and you know, things that they wore even was symbolic of well, more than just symbolism, but it gave off a spiritual energy. It had an actual purpose beyond its aesthetic. It had an actual purpose beyond just how it looked. It was like, I'm going to make this mask to represent this spirit. And you know what I'm saying? It's going, when you look at it, you're going to feel the presence of this spirit. And this is going to be the mask we wear for our celebration or, you know, our ritual. And that's something what Europeans don't understand. They got to look. All they care about is the most shallow thing. The most shallow part of art is just what it looked like, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just think that's to me really important when we look at African art. And I've been to a few museums. We got a Pan African store down here in Dallas, and when you go in there, the ancestors wasn't playing, man. You could feel it. Some of them paintings are very sexual too. So a lot of brothers and sisters getting on Sexy Red, they don't know much about African art.
They should. But it's fun because those are the two examples that I forget what was the reason for the video at first, but he used religion and art as the examples to like illustrate the point, basically. Yeah. And it's just funny to me. Like I always say that, you know, the things that YT people have done historically to mainly Black people around the world, but like, you know, other non-YT people is diabolical, definitely, but it's like brilliant marketing. And I hope I'm not romanticizing that at all, but it really is masterful, like marketing or whatever. But because like even I forget the young woman who was on here talking a few minutes ago, like talking about like how do we separate ourselves from like the religion piece, and two things came up for me. Like I think Black folks across the diaspora are having a hard, can't even say having, because I don't think a lot of people are trying to decouple themselves from.
Not yet. No, we're far from that.
Yeah, but I think one of the main reasons why it would be difficult for many is because that is something that they clung to in the darkest moments of like our histories across the world, like, and they believe that that's what carried them through. Like that hope and that faith is the only thing that you know got them through those moments. So that's one. And then two, which I think is even bigger than that, is let's just say you were able to like detach yourself from this, or you know, separate yourself from these constructed religions. That means that you now have to reimagine everything about how you show up in life and how you perform. Like you have to reimagine family. You have to reimagine your like performance, your identity as a man, your identity as a woman, how you show up in the, how you conceptualize all of these things. Like I said in the chat that growing up, my father used to always say that religion is just a tool to control people. And I think for me, I wasn't at the level of consciousness back then to like see religion for what it was, because it was still this thing where like even when you didn't practice, you told people like, oh, I'm Christian, like that's what you're supposed to do, right? But the minute I stopped doing that, those very same people were like, oh, you're gonna rot in, you know, the fiery place, and like your parents are horrible parents because you're not raised in church. And I'm just like, you don't even know nothing about them. So like just to not be in church every Saturday now means that I'm a terrible person, like with no, you know what I mean? Like people are not willing to do that work of now how do I see myself without what was imposed on me, right? And I think that's gonna be that's always gonna be Black people's biggest problem, because without the things that you've been forced on you, when are you gonna find courage? That feels like the wrong word, but that's the only word I can think about at this moment. But like, when are you gonna find the courage to design your own like life and your own, even if it's going back to what it was?
And see, that's the thing, because, brother Kron, drop some fire emojis down there. Everybody, my brother's about to put some fire emojis in the comments. Go follow his account too if you're a Pan-African and you want to deconstruct some of this stuff. Kron, see the fire emojis down there. Follow that account. He has a lot of these same discussion that we're having right now. He talks about this on his platform as well. He's part of the Fire Squad. A great, mighty Pan-African on this this anti-Black app, for those that are interested. But no, sister, you're right. And the thing about African spirituality that is the reason that I had to like step away from what I'd been taught was that African spirituality is specific to the individual. Each individual has their own spiritual journey. And that's how you know religion. That's the difference between religion and spirituality. Spirituality is everything is different for each person. Every person has their own spiritual journey. Religion is, here are the rules, you don't break these. That now that I've given you the rules, you got to listen to me, or I'll bring up the rules and tell you, hey, you said you was a Christian, So here's the rule. You said, no, that's haram. You said that here's the rules. And so that's the problem. That's because in Africa we weren't colonized yet, and we didn't have there wasn't that control. What was good for me might have been wrong for you. What's wrong for you what's good for you might be bad for me. So it depended on what was going on with me. If you want to learn more about how African spirituality discipline went, you could watch the show Ayanla Fixed My Life. Believe it or not. I don't know how many of y'all have watched that. Ayanla Fixed My Life. But what the way that she had, you seen that show? You seen that show?
Yeah, I used to watch it religiously, but
she's a Yoruba.
Of all the shows, I did not think you was gonna say that.
Yeah, she's a Yoruba priestess. If you were back,
all the time.
Yeah, she's a Yoruba priestess. If you were back in the day, she would be the auntie that would get you together. And some people she would make climb a wall. Some people she would make sign the people that harmed them on bricks. And some people she'd make them dig a hole and put their face in the dirt.
Yeah, that's true.
Each person's a different solution because and each is a different ritual for each person. So that's the thing. Like you would go to auntie and she would tell you, nah, all right, so now you got to go to the water and cry 5 times, like, because like that's how we did it. It was different for each person. Now in the way the world is, where the religion is, you have to become something you're not, because no one's born a Christian, no one's born a Muslim. You have to become those things. So now you have to become something you're not, become the same thing most likely your oppressor is too, a Muslim or a Christian. And now there's a uniformity, assimilation for it. And so that's the thing about African spirituality.
May I give some perspective on Islam?
Okay, talk to us. Give us your age, race, and pronouns first.
Sorry?
Give us your age, your race, and your pronouns first.
Oh, I'm 35. I'm Palestinian Canadian, and she, her.
Are you a I'll say, I want to say West Asian, but are you a Arab, Middle Eastern type
Palestinian?
deal?
Sorry, maybe you didn't hear me. I'm Palestinian. Yeah, so I speak
okay.
Arabic.
All right. Well, the reason I'm saying
that
is because
what were you looking for?
I'm pretty sure Palestine isn't all one race, right? There's other Palestinians.
What do you
Palestine is not a race; it's a place. Places are usually not racist, but I'm going to assume by your lack of understanding of that question that you're West Asian. All right, cool.
Okay. So, I guess there we go. West Asian. When it comes to Islam, you would be born Muslim, and actually, when it comes to there's a few points that you had brought up. And by the way, sorry guys if I'm a little bit timid. I'm new to TikTok lives, so please bear with me.
How are you born Muslim? How does that work? You born believing in a God?
Well, I think with us it's a little different. We don't believe in the original sin. We're not born with sin. We are born, and everyone's. I guess you're born an innocent and weak. You can call it Muslim, and a Muslim can be defined in many different ways. And what happens as you go through the journey of maturing and evolving, we are expected then to learn about our religion and learn about the furud. Sorry, sometimes it's still hard for me to find the right English words. Hello?
I'm trying to understand how you born a religion. Yeah, I'm trying to understand how you're born a religion. I don't understand that. So you tell me there's children that are born with knowledge of the Quran and they just
I see your point. There's, I guess, as a Muslim, well, if you're born into a Muslim family, you are born as a Muslim, or born, I guess, born without a religion in a culture, if is that what you're trying to get to, within the culture of Islam, within a family of
No
Islam,
one
and
is
as
born
you
a
grow up,
religion.
you
Their
expect.
family can impose a
Okay,
religion onto them, but
I see what you
no
mean.
one is
Okay,
born that religion.
okay,
But they are born with a soul.
sure, I can see
So
that.
if you're born in Palestine, you're born Palestinian. But
And so you're saying then, I guess, through the journey of our environment, our family, our parents, our culture, we adapt to the religion and adopt the religion of our family, right?
not everybody. But if that's how your family operates, cool. But
Okay.
Islam is a very oppressive topic for me and my people.
Can you explain it to me?
It was used as a justification to enslave my people in Palestine too. Well, it wasn't called Palestine at that time.
What do you mean by it was used as an excuse to enslave people?
It was used as a justification. Anyone that didn't believe in Islam was punished, either threatened to be unalived or sold into slavery. So
Oh, I don't know where you heard that, but that's actually not accurate. If
no, it's
anything,
accurate.
if you look into Islam,
I'm not gonna believe
sorry,
a
just
Quran thumper over
okay.
over John Henry
Okay, well,
Clark. But
sure, but
yeah,
just so you know, I would like you to at least hear this part that in the Quran, actually in Islam, it
it's haram. I know, and you don't
what
believe in you
forbids.
don't the same way Christians don't believe in killing people, right? But they kill millions, right? So, yeah, it was still
I think
used as a justification. We know it. We already talked about this. Like they use it politically, but then turn around with the same book in their hand and tell you they don't believe in that. But they use it to do it, and the people that do it, the people that don't do it try to say that the people that do it don't do it because they're Muslim, when the people that are doing it say they're doing it because they're Muslim. Yet you don't do anything, or you go to the people that are doing it and talk to them, right? Instead, you'll come on a black person's live and tell them that what they're saying is wrong, instead of going to Saudi Arabia or other places like Iran and even in Palestine, where they participated in the slave trade of Africans. Instead, you would come here on an African's live and tell him why, he shouldn't believe that. It's not true. Some of us are good. It's
this.
like, why aren't you
I'm
fighting the
sorry if
bad
you feel that
people?
I'm coming
Why aren't you
by the.
fighting the bad people that use your holy book to do harm to people? Why are you on
But
here?
who tells you that we don't? I literally just can't. Just FYI, genuinely, I'm on here. I came from another live where I was appalled actually. And I did stand up and I tried to get onto
But
that
I'm
live
saying,
where there were
why don't
people
you
talking
just
about
do
their
that
privilege,
then?
and I was.
But just do that.
I
Don't
actually
come
came here
here
just to
on Black
listen and to
People's
learn.
Live
I wasn't
and
trying
tell
to tell
us
you
anything
anything.
else. Like,
Okay, I
why are you
apologize.
here? Like, I look at you
You know,
and I
you're
see
right.
someone that colonized my ancestors. You're both your people outside of religion and your people in your religion both colonized my ancestors' land and enslaved their bodies, sold them and traded them as property for not being Muslim. They called them the uncivilized tribes. There's written books about this. There's written text in Arabic. There was an Arab invasion into Africa. We know about all this. It still goes on today. So it's like, I hear you. You want to be happy world
Is it okay if
humanity,
I say I'm
but
sorry?
no.
I
See,
genuinely, I'm
that's what I'm
sorry.
saying.
Okay.
What that mean to us?
That's what I'm
You just
saying.
sat here and told somebody they was wrong about their own historical context, but you know so much.
Y'all sound just like the Christians.
Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all just as bad. It's the same shit. It's the same shit, y'all. And then this is, you know what? I'm gonna save this clip of the live just for all the people that's brothers and sisters, call themselves pro-black, call themselves Pan-Africans, changing their usernames to Free Palestine. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking
Can
about.
you explain that?
Speaking of shows,
Because
do
I
you
was
know what was a
explaining
great
and understand. Y'all got enough free labor. You came up here and you centered yourself to talk about something, and then when someone corrected you on the context and gave you somewhere to go read to actually educate yourself about something that happened to our people, you immediately want to say, can you apologize? Apologize for sitting here trying to center yourself about a conversation you don't fully have the context or understanding of.
What would be the best approach?
The best approach would be for you to go approach your people.
And talk to them. They're the ones doing the harm.
The thought to come up here and try to correct somebody about their history was insane. That was the first mistake.
About the history of Islam?
Ooh, Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay, I'm going to exit.
Us that
I'm
the
going to
history of the
excuse myself.
context.
Yeah, you should.
What is that?
Okay.
She's gonna excuse herself.
Take a walk, take a lap.
You know what I'm saying?
Hello, and welcome. You guys are in Brother Legends Live. You guys, you have not been standing up and sending those paws like you need to. It's time for us to pat and tap your ass. Now listen, when y'all see the foolery, coonery, and buffoonery, I need you to send those damn paws. Why are we enduring all this enslavement and free labor? It is not okay. But you guys, tap that screen. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tap that damn screen. Put some energy in it. Power tap that screen. All right, you guys, share the live. Invite your friends, your frenemies, and bring those damn enemies. We like to fight. Let's tussle. But you guys, subscribe to Brothers Live. Make sure that you hit him up on YouTube and check out Black First. Oh, brother, by the way, I just want to say, are we going to keep the same topic today, or are we switching it up? Can we get
I was waiting. Yeah, no, it is about that time. But I was waiting for my wife to get back. She ain't get back yet, y'all. We was supposed to, because you know she's gonna come in here. Go ahead, sister.
Speaking of shows, a show that like beautifully like represents this conversation is Vikings on the History Channel. I've done a little like light research on how historically accurate it is, but I think it's like accurate enough. But because allegedly, you know, they believed in Valhalla and like the gods or whatever else, and then it's juxtaposed with the Christians who thought that the Vikings were like these animals who, you know, dirty and subhuman and all this other kind of stuff, and you know, they wanted to Christianize like real life, and they are like, oh, they're inhumane and all they do is unalive people and blah blah and pillage and whatever else. The whole time they were doing the exact same thing, and they just do such a great job of juxtaposing the two like beliefs and the I guess cultures, and showing how they're like basically the exact same in a lot of ways. They do a beautiful job of like showing that, and I forget which king it was, but whichever the one who ended up having a close relationship with Ragnar ended up kind of like softening and realizing how similar they were. I don't know. It just, that whole conversation just reminded me a whole lot of that, because they can't even see themselves in their own like distaste. Yeah.
That's the thing about religion. And so yeah, it's just it's heavily problematic. It's heavily problematic. The Muslims sound just like the Christians. What'd you say, D?
You've been misinformed about your history. You didn't read the book right. You read it backwards.
That's crazy. I wanted to bring up this scholar, Ibn Khaldun, who had some very choice words for our ancestors.
Can I make a comment to y'all when you
give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
So he and him, I guess. I've never been asked that. That's crazy. I'm Palestinian actually, and I'm Muslim. And I saw what you guys had up before, so I just wanted to make a comment just on my experience with everything. Like, see me, I work in the health field as well, and a lot of people assume I'm mixed a lot of the times when they see me. And so I've dealt with that type of racism, and on top of that, my name being Muhammad as well. And I just want to say, like, the one thing that I learned from Islam growing up, and the one thing I learned the most was that, like, when I go to the mosque, like, I'm praying next to all different cultures and races. You know what I'm saying? So
Why is that?
What do you mean? Why is that?
Why are you praying next to different cultures and races? How did they all hear about that religion?
Well, obviously they were brought up with the religion. I don't know if they were converts or
how did they find out about that religion?
Well, obviously through. What are you trying to say? Like they were forced into it?
Was it something that they came up with themselves, or did
they were
someone
taught?
come into their land and give it to them?
Okay, I mean, fair enough. We can argue that fact with anything truly. I mean, what I'm just trying to get at is like my whole life was like I didn't care what color, what skin, what even you're Jewish. It doesn't matter. It's all humans are humans. If we believe in God, we all come from the same God, so we should all love each other and believe in unity, not segregation.
Who's doing the segregating?
No. I'm not trying to point anyone, but I'm just saying like every platform I go on, it's just like we wanna create like, you know, a divide and hate, and I just don't believe in that.
Who's creating hate?
Well, you're talking against like how Muslims are racist.
You just said
Are they not?
You said that.
I never said that.
You said you experienced racism because they thought you were black. They thought you were
No. I
biracial.
experienced racism in healthcare, and it was against white people, not Muslims.
How do white people experience racism?
What do you mean? No. They were okay. I was taking care of a gentleman, and I'm taking care of him, getting his medications. I hear him from outside the door calling me the N-word.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So when you came in this live, let's address this. You came up here, and you want to talk about sharing peace and love, but you were mistaken for a black person, and you heard them being racist towards you, as if you hear black people walking around and using derogatory words in reference to white people, or even you. Who should you be
I'm a
saying
little
this
bit.
to? Because you came in here trying
I'm
to
a little.
love is light. Love is light. You don't find black people going out of their way to just destroy any other community.
Who's trying to destroy a community?
You just said there was segregation, racism, and hate, spreading hate. Where the hate at?
But in this, well, I'm saying like when you try to say that, for example, with the Palestinian conflict, when you try to say, well, Palestinians are racist, who cares about them?
Who said that?
Well, it's just what you guys are basically saying. Am I wrong, or like
No, we
educate me
say
if I'm
free
wrong?
Congo, free Haiti.
Hey, free
Straight
Congo.
up, free Sudan, free all of them. I support
Absolutely.
all, like everyone. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you on any of those topics. But what I'm trying to say is like when we get on these
We
platforms
triggered
and
you. What did we trigger?
what
What did we say that got you up in arms?
it's just the fact that like for example, like I don't want to say anything that triggers you guys where you guys start
Don't trigger
attacking me. I
me.
just want to talk openly.
Go
But
ahead.
like one of the most beautiful things that I saw was when like they talk about Islam in general is that like Islam, there's not only a white mosque, there's not only a Pakistani mosque, it's all together.
So did you see where that African woman was in the mosque, and she just so happened to get her mat, and she placed it in front of a woman that had been coming there maybe a few years longer than her, and that woman got her mat and moved it, and then the one, like, she got back up, she put her mat back in front of where the lady was at, and she didn't like think she was ahead of anybody. She had chose her spot. And then the woman kicked her and told her she would never pray behind a African because basically they were beneath her. She
And
never done it, and she's not gonna start doing it today.
but that woman should not even be in the
And
mosque.
then
Then she doesn't
everyone
deserve to be in that
attacked
mosque.
the African woman.
I've never heard that in my life. Where's
Okay,
the
well,
story? I want to read
it
it.
definitely happens, and it's
Where is
happened
it
more
though?
than
Where's the
once.
story so I could read it?
I'll find it for you.
What, all right,
Okay,
so here's my
send it to
thing,
me
right?
because my
He's
thing is I
doing
want to
something
educate.
very clever with his argument because he's saying it's not about race when it comes to Islam. And there are churches that are Christian, and you can walk in and there's black, white, Asian, all different types of races there. So that doesn't mean that that ideology wasn't something that was forced upon African people and used to justify enslaving them. It also wasn't used for that, but it also was used for that. And so that's the thing, because people joining together of all different races and told to read Arabic words and act within an Arabic tradition is still assimilation. And it's assimilation into a culture that was also built with slavery. It was necessary to build any of those empires. They needed slaves from Africa, and that's why they traded them. So at the end of the day, I hear what you're saying, but we are in a black space, and racism definitely exists in Muslim places. So despite it not being about race and we're all human and all that other stuff you were saying, that's cool. But how come black people are mistreated in Saudi Arabia? How come black people, when they go to Mecca, literally, Malcolm X went to Mecca and was arrested at the airport. As soon as he got there, he needed a white man to bail him out. Malcolm X. This is how much our black people are so in love with the religions of our oppressors that we literally will get arrested on our trip to Mecca that they say every man must take and still turn to them to be our saviors. This is crazy. I wanted to read
No,
the
you're right.
words of Ibn
Listen,
Khaldun.
that's
I wanted to read the
what I
words
don't
of Ibn.
understand.
Hold on. I wanted to read the words of Ibn Khaldun. So, he was a Muslim scholar. I'm not sure what year he wrote this, but this is back in the day. Let's see. I'm not sure when he wrote this. I don't want to take up too much time, but this is what it says. Therefore, the Negro nations are, as a rule, submissive to slavery, because Negroes have little that is essentially human, and possess attributes that are quite similar to those of dumb animals. This is a Muslim scholar. This is a highly praised Islamic scholar. So what I'm trying to say, and he's Arab. So what I'm trying to say is there is anti-blackness in both these intersections. I understand that they are not operating under that. It's just like white supremacy. You know, Christianity is not about race, and America is not one race, but both were used to subjugate Africans, specifically sub-Saharan Africans, and that's who Calhoun is talking about.
Sir? Really?
What? I didn't hear what's happening. Please don't interrupt.
Can I make a comment after you, sir? That's all I was just saying.
Okay, hold on a moment. All right.
Can I respond to you?
Yeah, please.
All right. So this is what I believe and what I was taught from my parents, and now I come from an area where it's predominantly African American. So a lot of my friends are African American, and I know you probably hear that all the time. Like that's what everyone's excuse is. But
I know,
either
you
way,
have to tell us that.
Yeah, but this is what I want to say. So the thing is I was brought up this way, where my parents always told me that if we all believe in God, I don't care, you believe in God or not, whatever God, Christian God, Jewish God, Muslim God, whatever, we all believe that God made us all, because he made all humans and we're all beautiful. And I never was told to like hate or not
Neither
accept
were
anyone.
Christians. Neither were Christians. No
Yeah.
one religious was told to hate anyone, but it was used to hate people. So
Well, yeah.
there's the curse of
Wasn't
Canaan.
the KKK Christian?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, right,
But
exactly.
how can you hurt God's creation? Every creation is beautiful, no matter what race, culture. You know what I mean? And that's why when you see this Palestinian conflict, you know, any child is a child of is like Madonna said that any child should be considered your own child. You know what I mean? Because they're innocent. They're angels. They've never done any sin, and they're suffering. You know what I'm saying? So like you know, we see the hate across all platforms where they say, okay, Muslims are racist, but that
They
doesn't take
are.
away from innocent people dying.
But Madonna,
Please say it on the live.
Madonna was
Okay, I'm just using it as a paraphrase.
Y'all,
Please don't
no,
fucking use
I'm
me
gonna
against like I
correct
follow
you. I'm
Madonna.
gonna correct you. F1, y'all.
Yeah, because we're on TikTok. I shouldn't have even said some of the things I said, but I wasn't gonna censor that quote. That quote is crazy, and it was used to influence slavery. So everyone talks about how in Islam,
What's
slavery
F1?
is slavery. F1 is to clean the life.
Oh, okay,
But
my
everyone
bad.
talks about how slavery is haram. But my thing is, it still goes on in Islamic states. So if it's so haram, why aren't there more Islamic Arabic people speaking up against haram things? Why is everyone okay with it when it goes on? Why do I keep seeing videos on the internet of Arabic, West Asian, Islamic people saying harmful things like picking up a small child and saying, "I'm selling a piece of chocolate. Who wants a chocolate for an Egyptian pound?" Why do I keep seeing stories of the Afro-Palestinians being told that their part of town is called Al Abid? Like, why do I hear these things? Because there's anti-blackness inherent to Islam, and to certain parts of Islam. The only reason I speak of that with nuance is because when the West Africans got Islam, they decided to still practice African spiritual practices and keep their traditions intact despite the Arabization of Africa. So there are Islamic people or Muslim people that still are black and still, you know, practiced our African traditions with it. But that doesn't mean that it has fulfilled its duty in the world to do as you said, you know, see everyone as equal. It has failed. It's not working.
Well,
And it
listen, I just want to
participated
say,
in
like,
slavery, and it participates every day in racism.
yeah.
So
I
it's
just
not
want to say,
working.
listen, man. Like, I'm sorry you got to see that stuff in this day and age. That's really sad. That's tough. I like, you know, I don't see these videos. I don't like. Maybe I got to educate myself more. I'd like to see more of what you guys are talking about and educate myself on it, because what I was taught was so much different from what you guys are saying is happening.
But your key word was, you said you was raised around African American people, right?
Yeah, like
It's
all my
crazy that
friends.
the community that you were raised around, you were welcome and accepted. Do you think your
Yeah,
friends would be welcome and accepted in a community that looked like you? That's
yeah,
all it says the
because
answer.
all
Hmm.
my friends actually they're not convinced I'm actually Palestinian. They all say no, you got to be mixed. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just the culture. I don't know. I live right across from Detroit, so I mean,
I
like
mean, you can just look up the history of Afro-Palestinians. There are videos about them on this app. Like, so for you to be Palestinian and not be aware that these things are happening, but they're happening amongst your own people, it's a little weird.
I don't think it's weird at all.
Why wouldn't it be
I'm
weird?
telling you exactly how I was raised.
I'm not
You're
talking about how you
oblivious
were
to your
raised, though.
community. You were raised
I
around. You were raised around our community, which is going to be loving, accepting, welcoming. But we're the bad guys in society. Let it be told. But if I just asked you, if we go to your community, if we would be treated the same way that you got welcomed in ours, and you just gave silence and then skipped the question.
No, 100% you'd be welcome.
Okay.
100%.
That's a damn
There'll
lie.
be no doubt in my mind.
That's a damn lie. There are
What?
horror stories coming out of places like Dubai and Saudi Arabia of black people
I'm not
going over
avoiding
there.
anything.
Black people going over there
Accountability.
and getting
Listen
the
to me.
worst treatment. Like I would never
You
go
lying.
any.
You guys are tripping.
What, are you kidding me? You're kidding me.
No, I'm reading the comments. I'm reading the comments. I'm not talking about you.
Screw the comments. I'm talking about what happens when black people go to what y'all call the Middle East, what the white man told you was the Middle East. There's some really bad anti-blackness over there. And part of it is because, like I just read about Ibn Khaldun, they don't see as sub-Saharan Africans as human. So that's something that they share in common with Europeans, and that is why they both came to Africa and spread their religion and enslaved our ancestors.
Can I make a comment about that?
Yeah, talk to us.
Well, first,
give us your age, race, and pronouns first.
Oh, I'm African American man, 45 years old, and one thing I want to say that's very tragic about the slave trade that happened in the east of Africa is that little boys were castrated so they could be eunuchs, and most of them died in that process. And that was done by Muslims. So I'm thinking like, wow, the Muslims were colder than the transatlantic slave trade. At least you got to keep your D, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was really cold how they did Africans. They had them walk in the desert for weeks, and a lot of them died walking in the desert.
They had breeding camps.
They unalived. F1,
yeah, and they used our women to be raped as concubines. So when you really think about what the Arab has done in Africa, he's been very destructive in Africa. And and I know there's people that are Middle Eastern that are good people, but in general, I don't think they have any love for it. But what makes me laugh so bad in a negative way is how we keep becoming loving to everybody who's not loving to us. We shop with these people in America. We rather shop with the Arab than our own people. We got as a people, we have so much work to do on ourselves that is really insane, and it's really crazy because, it's just hard for me to believe that we would embrace religions that have been used to destroy us, because Christianity was used to also destroy black people in the transatlantic slave trade. But look at us. Look at how goofy we are. We're just goofy because we believe in religions that have been destructive to us, and we don't even take those religions and use them to help our people. We talk all this multiculturalism stuff, and we're the only ones that are dumb enough to believe in it, because no one else believes in multiculturalism besides black folk. So we have a lot of work to do. Now, one thing I will say about the Palestinians that I did hear that back in the '60s that they did meet up with the Black Panther Party. Now, I don't know if that's true or if that's a lie, but I heard that they had Palestinian Panthers. So I did hear that the Palestinians had a group that was modeled off the Black Panther Party. Now, I can't substantiate that because I haven't done enough research, but someone had told me about that group. So that's what I'm just saying. But the thing about it is we have to just be realistic about where we are. We're just too loving and too accepting. We have to stop giving everybody grace because no one gives us any. I'll land my plane there.
Islamic law regarded as legal slaves only those non-Muslims who were imprisoned and brought beyond the borders of Islamic rule, such as sub-Saharan Africans. And so in the Western slave trade, the Eastern slave trade, that is something that I'm careful to speak on because you wouldn't call the transatlantic slave trade the Christian slave trade. That's the transatlantic slave trade. So in my recognizing, fairness, I call it the Eastern slave trade. However, it went on for much longer, 12 centuries, and it's still practiced in areas that it was practiced long ago to this day. And then on top of that, it was 15 million of our ancestors brought around the world as slaves, specifically in Palestine, where he's from. When it was the Ottoman Empire, our ancestors, our mothers, our aunts were their sex slaves. So you know how people talk about those Eastern harems. You know what I'm saying? It was our ancestors in those harems. So I'm just saying, man, it definitely was used. I understand that, there's the reimagining of history and to make it seem like, things could have been equal, but it was used, and I think it behooves those that practice Islam today to stand up to them if that's what you're really about. Me, I've had enough of all Abrahamic religion. It is not something that's natural to humanity. It's only been around for about, 2,500 years. How long has it been? It hasn't been long enough. A blip a drop in the ocean of time and human history. I think we can let Abrahamic religion go. This guy named Abraham, he can go sit down somewhere.
So what do you follow religiously? Like, do you have a religion?
I have a spirituality. I have a connection to my ancestors.
Right.
That Islam and Christianity and Judaism try to steal from us.
Yeah. Listen, all I want to end with this. I like I said, I took everything you guys said, and I will re-educate myself. I just hope you know this, and I just want to spread love and not hate. That's all. I wish you guys the best, and I hope you guys don't take anything I say to offense. All right.
War.
Pardon?
How about you get mad that people are being unalived and mistreated? Fuck the love.
He got his own thing going on. They got their own thing going on in Palestine, man. We wish you the best out there. Fighting
Honestly,
against
I live in Canada, man. I live in Canada. My family.
Either way, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your people, you got your own thing going on, and we wish you the best wherever you at. In freeing your people from the same oppressor that oppresses our people. But we also know that the oppressor that oppresses you learned that from oppressing our people and still oppresses our people in a lot worse ways than they're oppressing your people. So we're going to focus on our side of the building. You focus on your side of the building, and hopefully together we can put the fire out.
I hope so, man. I wish you guys the best, man. Take care. You can talk shit about me now, bye.
All right.
No, we will. Thank you. No need to tell us. We will.
Y'all, I got to go. My wife is back. My wife is back. Wifey's home.
Wifey's home.
Yeah, she home now. Yo, man, I'm gonna have to get into Islam because y'all Quran thumpers be coming up here. They starting to trying to get at me now. I had the little Christians used to come up here, but lately it's been the Quran thumpers. You know, they call them Bible thumpers like that. Yeah, it's the Quran thumpers be coming up here now.
But I heard somebody say, brother, about the Black Panthers. So when it came to the caste system, there was actually a historical context with the Black Panthers, and they were over there rioting and kind of pushing up, trying to basically use African American methods in regards to how they were fighting back to break that system. I don't know. I heard somebody say that earlier. That was true.
I did.
Yeah, you're talking about in Palestine. Are you talking about Palestine?
Yes.
Because the Black Panthers, we got to remember, the Black Panthers was a political organization founded by somebody. Did Huey Newton have a white mom?
No, I don't think so. I think the main founders were Bobby Seals and
right. But I'm saying
no, I don't think so. Not that I've heard about.
The founders believed in Huey Newton was mixed, but I just don't know if his mom was. But the founders did believe in.
He was mixed?
Yeah.
I never heard this one.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Now don't make me question stuff, man. Hold on. Now I got to speak right on the ancestor, man. Hold on. I'm not saying that like it was a bad thing. I just wanted to know if he had a white mom. Dang, Huey.
Back in the day, some of the most pro-black people.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is, hold on. Let's just gonna say African American. He was mixed. I don't know.
Yeah, I never heard that one. I wasn't saying that it wasn't true. I just wanted to.
Yeah, it says he had European and Angela Davis, her ancestors came in on the Mayflower.
Mm-hmm.
But that's neither here nor there. They was black as hell. What I'm trying to say though, what I was trying to get at is, he wasn't monoracial. They saying that he had black and white ancestry. I just can't find a picture of his parents.
Yeah, we search for their parents.
I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna Google that one. Is Huey Newton a half breed? That's what I'm gonna ask.
Don't put that.
Nah, that's
Hold up.
crazy. Yeah,
Don't say that. That's the wrong word.
Well,
Malcolm
I said
was
biracial.
But either way, he was black as hell. So you know what I'm saying? It's about what you got in here. But what I was trying to say was they were a political organization, and they were an anti-racist, but they was also very pro-black. So they did both at the same time. And when it came to politics, at the time Zionism was the thing because that had just been kind of put together a few decades before that. So they did have a political interest in fighting back against the system in that regard, politically. But these are people that had the 10-point program, WIC. These are people that had feet on the ground in the black community. Once we are addressing what's going on in our community, then I think it's cool for us to have time for everybody else. Somebody said his dad was white T. All right, but they also believed in white allies. So that's another thing. Black Panthers believed in white allies. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we kind of learned some things since then, so.
Now, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this viewpoint. Do you think that the Panthers were a better group, the Nation of Islam, or do you think the Garveyite movement was a better movement?
Definitely would say the UNIA.
Me too. I would say the same thing, right?
Yeah. And I would say if they hadn't unalived Malcolm, it would have been the OAAU. Yeah, the African Union, led by Kwame Nkrumah, would have really did something, but it did do something, but it didn't do what it was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mean, the Nation of Islam comes in last for me because, like I said, religion is something that's used to compromise us because religion tells you, if I told you unaliving your ancestor was best for you, a religious person would have to say, nope, that's against the 10 Commandments. I'm sorry. Nope, that's haram. I can't. You see what I'm saying? Now you have the morality that keeps the oppressor human and safe. When I'm telling you these people are doing harm to you, you still are going to have an allegiance to a book before what's really happening before your eyes.
Right. But you know what's interesting about religion is when I've been reading the Bible, right? God tells the Israelites to run down on people.
Yeah, you do.
So the fact that, so my whole thing is, Christianity is not necessarily the problem, it's the way black people do it. We act so doggone weak. We act so doggone soft and submissive to every damn body. It's just ridiculous. It's just disgusting.
Dr. Ishaka Musa Barashango, if you all want to get deep into it, that's how he talks. He says the Bible is a black liberation textbook. He said the Bible is a black liberation textbook. The Bible is full of Africans. That's all it is. And he talks, man, he gets deep into it. He tell y'all God was not this peaceful, humble. Even Jesus was calling for war. He said when he coming back with the sword. He didn't say he was coming back. He said he's coming back with a sword.
It's weaponized to keep people in place too, though, because on the opposite end of it, the oppressors are using that same book to keep you docile and using that same book to,
justify them having the sword.
But see, the thing about it is, to me, I've lost respect for black Christians for the most part, because number one, most of them have not read the Bible cover to cover. They have not read it because they read it, they would see all the discrepancies. You know what I mean?
That's what Ishaka Musa says. That's what
they would see all the problems, and they would see that God was telling them to run down, and supposedly the Israelites ran down on a lot of people.
Yeah.
But the real reason why black people don't talk that kind of talk is because they want to integrate. Deep down inside, our people want to integrate with the with the W people.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, they don't understand that even if they want to take us in, they can't because we're not them. We cannot integrate because we are not them. And it seems like our people don't get it.
Yeah.
You see, and it's been shown to us over and over again. If we go where they go, they leave.
Yeah.
They leave. They leave because a lot of neighborhoods that are now predominantly black or predominantly W neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They leave.
And now the opposite's happening. Did you know that? Now they're gentrifying.
Yes.
Now they're gentrifying the cities, and we're running to the suburbs.
Because Chocolate City is no longer as chocolatey as it used to be 10 years ago.
No, that's our response. That's our fault. We've made some huge mistakes in what we've been doing, and the biggest mistake I believe in general is integration. I believe integration was the biggest mistake.
Martin Luther King believed that. Yeah, Martin Luther King believed that in the book he wrote before he died.
And the thing about it is there's corrective integration and incorrective integration. And what I mean by that is if they're going to build a studio or if they're going to build something that's going to tear down houses in the black community, you say, listen, you're going to build a stadium here. We want to profit off of that stadium. We want to own businesses inside that stadium. We don't want jobs cleaning the floor.
In that area. That's the issue.
Let me go, y'all. I got to go. I appreciate y'all.
Right. I'm just saying,
much
we
love.
can't get that part.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna talk to y'all tomorrow. We'll do one on religion. Religion tomorrow, y'all. We're gonna have to break some things down.
What time?
Tomorrow I'll be on. Let's see. Tomorrow I'll be on at 6. Yeah, I'll be on at 6. I'm getting on a little bit later. They changed my schedule at work, so I'll be on at 6. And then I would encourage anybody watch Ishaka Musa Barashango, Dr. Barashango on YouTube. He got videos that's gonna blow y'all mind. I'm in Central Standard Time. Appreciate you, Jen. Central Standard Time, 6 o'clock. Barashango, Barashango. Shango is Shango. Bara, Bara, Barashango. That's gonna blow your mind. We're gonna talk about him tomorrow. All right, y'all. One love.
Hop
Check
in
out
that
the
tub
YouTube.
before you hop in Black Business.
Absolutely. Hop in the tub, y'all. Peace.
All right, man. Peace, brother.